Hi, you guys. This is Miss Merced, and I want to go over a problem like this, which is using dividing to factor completely. So we're using long division. Long division is like long division that you learned in middle school, except now we have variables in it. So we saw videos before on it, and we've already done previous lessons, so I'm not going to go over a plain long division that you would see in middle school. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, definitely go seek the previous video lessons that we were required to see as an assignment. Anyways, so the question here is factor completely 2x to the third minus 11x squared plus 3x plus 36, given that x minus 4 is a factor. So they are telling us x minus 4 is a factor already, and we want to factor this up into pieces. Now, the highest exponent here that is listed is to the third power. So that means my factors, I should have three factors. I should have three factors at the end of this answer. And one of those three factors is the one that's already given to us. So let's go ahead and set this problem up. So I'm going to make this as a long division. So I'm going to use the symbol here. I'm going to have x minus 4. And then here I'm going to put the 2x to the third minus 11x squared plus 3x plus 36. And then I'm going to do long division. So what somebody has suggested in one of our classes here is that the way they solve it is if you're trying to figure out what do you multiply x to get 2x to the third, one way is you can pull this term, 2x to the third divided by x, and figure out what you get. So that's like 2 divided by 1 is 2, and then x to the third divided by x is like saying x to the third minus 1. That's what happens when you divide. You minus the exponents, which is 2. So this is x to the squared. So I would plug in 2x to the squared, and that should give me my answer. So 2x to the squared times x is 2x to the third power. 2x to the squared times negative 4 is negative 8x squared. And then just like in long division, I have to make sure I multiply this term, this 2x squared, with both terms here and to get this. And then just like long division, I would subtract the bottom exponent with the top exponent. So expression with the top expression. 2x to the third minus 2x to the third, those zero out. They cancel each other out. Negative 11x squared minus negative 8 is like saying negative 11 plus 8. So negative 11 plus 8 is, let's see, negative 3x squared. So I'm done here. I'm going to pull down the next term, which is plus 3x. And then I'm going to do it all over again. I'm looking at what can I multiply with x to get negative 3x squared. And whatever that is, I'm going to put here. So one way I can figure that out if I'm not sure is take that term that I'm trying to match and divide it by the x here in the divisor. So let's see. This is like saying negative 3 divided by 1, which is negative 3, and x squared divided by x is x. So that's what I should put here. So I'm going to put minus 3x. And then I'm going to do it all over again. Negative 3x times x is negative 3x. I'll just do it in pencil. Negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times negative 4 is positive 12x. And then I'm going to go ahead and subtract the bottom expression with the top expression. So these cancel out. Negative 3 minus negative is like saying negative 3 plus 3x squared. Cancels out, zeros out. 3 minus 12x is negative 9x plus 36. And then I do it all over again. The 36 I got is because I moved down this 36 from the original expression. And then I do it all over again. What times x gives me negative 9x? So if I'm not sure, I can always take the first term in the expression that I'm trying to get rid of and divide it by x. which is the first term here that's being divided, that's dividing into. So these cancel out, the x divided by x cancels out, and all I'm left is negative 9. So that looks like that will be my next term here, my quotient. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Negative 9 times negative 4 is positive 36. I'm subtracting the bottom expression with the top. So negative 9 minus a negative is like saying negative 9 plus 9x. These cancel out, they zero out. 36 minus 36 zeroes out. Okay, so this is my remainder. My remainder tells me that yes, x minus 4 is a factor of the original expression given. Therefore, I can continue to factor this quotient that we came up with. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's the first part. So now we're going to factor, which is part of the factoring completely that we are asked to do. I'm being asked to factor this. Now this is not an easy factor because I have a number greater than 1 in front of my x squared. So I want to multiply. To do that, you want to multiply a times c. If this was a, b, and c. So a times c is 2 times negative 9, and that equals negative 18. And then I want to think of all my factors that multiply to negative 18, but add to b. Okay, so b is negative 3. Add to negative 3. So if I think about it, let's see, negative 18 times 1, 18 times negative 1, 9 times negative 2, negative 2 times positive, nope, sorry, that's the exact same thing. 2 times negative 9, 6 times negative 3, negative 6 times positive 3, I believe that's it. So I have to go through these to see which one matches. So let's see, negative 8 minus, negative 18 plus 1 is negative 17. That's not it. 18 plus negative 1 is positive 17. No. 9 plus negative 2 is 7. No. 2 plus negative 9 is negative 7. Nope. 6 plus negative 3 is positive 3. I'm looking for negative 3. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. So this one definitely no. This looks like it's my answer. Well, part of my answer. I'm getting there. Okay. Hopefully you remember factoring by grouping. So I'm going to rewrite the b and rewrite it as this, the negative 6 and 3. So I'm going to do 2x squared, let's see, minus 6x plus 3x, and then I'm going to write the c, minus 9. Okay, this is factoring by grouping. Okay, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm sure you can find some other YouTubes or websites that will help you remind yourself. So we group the first together and we group the second together. And then we find things that we can factor out of both of these. It looks like I can factor a 2 out, a negative 2 out, and an x out. So I do that. What I have left is x minus 3. And then here I'm going to factor out, it looks like a 3, a positive 3, so I have x minus 3. And then in this factoring by grouping, we see that the x minus 3's and the x minus 3's repeat, so we're going to write that once. And then, this has to be a 2x. And then the negative 2x and the plus 3, we write that in its own. We write that as in its own factor. And then lastly, remember, this was to the third power, so we should have 3 factors here. I only have 2. These 2 factors represent this trinomial, but we're trying to find the factors for the original problem. So this is the other factor, so x minus 4. So we got to make sure we do x minus 4. In order to make sure my answer is correct, I would check my work. So I'm going to check by multiplying the 2x plus 3 with x minus 3, and then multiplying the x minus 4, and I should get the original answer. So final answer is negative 2x plus 3, and then x minus 3, and then x minus 4. Okay, thank you guys.